Teslafaninsight. Thanks once again for joining us. Today's show focuses on Nvidia goes nutso, and congratulations. And we review what's going on here and if we think it's a good use of your time, energy, and money currently. Just a reminder, please take time to like and subscribe. If this is your first time, welcome. And please join us on Patreon if you would like some better ideas on better trading and investing. So I have been a fan of Nvidia for quite a while. And as you know, the news that hit is that Nvidia was up 30% yesterday, up a little bit more than that. But today, I expect that as we get into the 3-day rule, because the stock is currently in the 380s, the analysts are forecasting the 600 target for the stock price. And I would have to say that's about right. And wanted to review with you a few thoughts on this, even if it's not the usual length of shows that we might have. So I'd have to say that I was closely watching Nvidia for quite a while, especially during the time when Bitcoin and others were rising, because Nvidia's chips were being used heavily by those building CPUs for data mining in the Bitcoin space. But that business had sort of cooled off. Now we have everything that's going on with ChatGTP. I actually had a conversation with an executive from an investment bank, and he was explaining that ChatGTP is actually a very dangerous entity when it comes to Google. And the reason is that it's possible that the nature of the answers you can get back from ChatGTP are superior to what Google's offering, but also you don't have the ads that go with it. So as you've seen, all the major players, Microsoft, Google, et cetera, have all joined in to try to get their arms around what's going on with AI in general, ChatGTP in particular, and their own sort of AI efforts within the technology space. I would have to say that I'm a bit stunned here because I actually thought that there'd be a delay for us to start seeing a lot of very clear examples of the use of AI to validate huge amounts of capital being dumped in. And the answer is that it's sort of, I want to say, call it the opposite. We can see the amount of money being put in by some very smart people. We're not seeing finished products yet that validate all that spending, but it's also clear that there's a lot of entities that recognize the potential of ChatGTP and the whole AI movement. And when it comes to how to respond to it, one of the challenges that pops up is that there's a chip involved. So let's review what's going on with chips. So right now, Nvidia and their advanced AI chips, I just call it a category called graphics processors. So the computation ability of those chips is really high. And in this niche, the folks at Nvidia have a 75% stake. So pretty much if anybody wants to do something in this space, 75% of chips out there are coming from Nvidia. And at this point, given that Nvidia designs the chips and have them produced in Taiwan, I would assume by TSMC among those, note that company, another entity that might be worth your investing dollars. We're pretty much in a stuck zone on if you want to make a dent in the space, you have to go this route. Now, I have been not dragging my feet per se, but looking for real world examples of how AI/chat GTP might be useful out there. There are two examples that I just quickly wanted to run through I thought was interesting. Number one is that is writing software. So what we're stepping forward into going forward is the ability to uh, sort of create software products with a spoken word or writing what you'd like to have happen, and the computer will simply go out, get the pieces of code you need, and produce that finished software. There's a potential use of how AI slash chat GTP might work. The second idea that I've been studying, observing, obviously, is the difference between a search done by ChatGTP versus what you might do with Google. Frankly, the way those machines can learn and then deliver solutions to what people are requesting, I think is interesting thus far. But I'm noticing that we're seeing iPhone changes that have AI built in. We're seeing all these sort of small steps in how this might occur. Now, I have to say that given the money being put into it, it's clear that this is going to move us into a totally different realm of how computers allow us to get more functionality at lower cost. So there's a concept that I've been studying casually for the last 20 years, and that is, you ever notice the number of ways in which computers are coming from one side of the house to eat different businesses? So I had some fun with one of my cousins regarding sort of jobs that computers would never be able to do, like toll taking, for example, or if you're in a parking garage, handling, taking payments there. Obviously, they're being done now by the computers. In the old days, they weren't being done so. So in general, the idea is, I feel, is that computers are basically eating the job market. And there seems to be a continuous process of how one can apply those computers to deliver what's called marginal utility. So can I get you to buy an AI machine with Nvidia chips if in fact I'm able to deliver to your company some solutions that that currently are done in another way? One other quick one that I think is really interesting is, did you know that anytime you build a piece of software, the way the budget is laid out, it's a 60-40. First, you build the software with about 60% of the budget. 40% of that budget is checking for bugs. What if you could bring ChatGTP slash AI into an automation process for software builds, as well as even, doing some bug checking, as I just described? So we are not seeing the most powerful illustrations of how this is all going to work out, but the potential is huge, and it puts us in a whole new realm of how computers add value to our lives. And you will shortly be seeing huge examples of how this all works out. Any rate, I want to congratulate the folks at Nvidia on what they're up to. I know Tesla slash, because of Elon Musk, has been involved with ChatGTP and is building its own chips kind of in this space produced by Samsung. But we are going to see more of what the potential is going forward. But I wanted to kind of just do a show to encourage you to take a look at the stock. I still think we have another 20-30% to go in the short term, probably another 100% to go, maybe 200% in the longer term for that stock. So it might be worth a little bit of your attention, time, and resources. Anyway, this is Greg for Teslafaninsight. Thanks for joining us. I just wanted to note, just encourage you from the health standpoint, don't forget your 25 leg lifts, and prior to lovemaking, reminders to not eat more than a light salad because all that blood flow will be able to flow to other portions of the body. Thanks once again for joining us. Have a great day, and bye for now.